Hey folks, today is Friday, September 11th, 2020. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. It's been a crazy week. I think I've been saying that every week for the past 3 months, but seriously this time. Also, I just want to apologize for the mess here. We're slowly moving out of this office. I know it looks like crap, very unprofessional. I'm sorry. We're going through some things here, okay? I don't mean us, I mean like the United States and the world. Anyway, let's jump in with our first story, and it is GameStop. As you guys have been following, if you've been watching this show every Friday for a while, we've been keeping you guys kind of posted on GameStop and its troubles. GameStop has had issues for years with profit losses and quarterly expectations and all those businessy type words not being so hot, and the newest news is that they are planning to close about another 100 stores. This is actually way more than previously expected. In an earnings call this week, they announced that they will be closing approximately 450 stores. GameStop, for those of you that don't know, is like one of the big North American physical game retail stores. And this is not only more than expected, probably because number one, they're having issues, but number two, there was a pandemic, which also hit a lot of physical retail, of course. But this is also despite the fact that in the second quarter, their online sales rose something crazy like almost 800%. So while that is a W for them, that is technically still not enough for them, with one of the heads of GameStop also announcing that there are more closures to come in 2021. So that's where we're at. Just keeping you guys updated on stuff like that. It always makes for an interesting story, but I do want to point out that this is people's livelihoods. Plenty of managers, retail workers are losing their jobs, and that sucks, man, especially given the current state of things. So all we can do, I know I've talked to many of you out there who actually work at GameStops. I wish you well, for real. Now, in other news, if you were watching this on Friday, yesterday, Thursday, we got our newest Ubisoft thing where they do a live stream and they announce some new games and stuff, and we got some stuff. First off, let's just rattle them off. We got Immortals Fenyx Rising. This is no longer the Gods and Monsters game. It has been rebranded, redesigned since we last saw it, and we've gotten a good long look at it, including some gameplay. And I am not one to usually compare one game to another that just says it looks like this, but straight up, man, this really looks like a Breath of the Wild game with Greek mythology, down to the way it looks, the way the text looks, the color palette, some of the gameplay design, the puzzle design, some of the tools in the game. It's crazy. I do think the combat looks like a lot of fun, though. The combat looks kind of unique, and that's cool. But yeah, this is the game, and it's releasing December 3rd. So essentially, I guess this is kind of like if you're looking for Breath of the Wild 2, and we still haven't gotten any news on that, at least maybe you could play this to hold yourself over. I don't know, man. I am really curious to hear what you guys think of that in the comments, for real. They also announced a Far Cry VR experience, but it's one of those physical VR experiences where you go to a place and put on a headset. So honestly, I hate to just dismiss that, but I'm dismissing that. Also, can we talk about the fact that they still didn't announce a Splinter Cell game, like for real? One of the other big things that was actually leaked just before, a remake of Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. My two favorite Prince of Persia games are Sands of Time and Warrior Within. Shout out to Godsmack. They should remake that game and put Godsmack songs back in the game. That's probably never going to happen, though. Anyway, we're talking about Sands of Time. There is a trailer. Apparently, this footage is alpha. It's releasing in January. And I think the gameplay looks there, the animations, all that classic stuff, exactly how I want it. But some of the faces and some of the visuals look really jacked up. I know they said it's an alpha, but the game's coming out in January. I don't know, man. Still, for me, I hate to say it, like, I'm still going to jump into this. Yuri Lowenthal is back. I replay Sands of Time almost every year, so this time I'm just going to replay the remake. Personally, I do wish this did get a little better treatment. I'm going to judge it fully when it's out, but I hope it looks a little better than what we're seeing here, because come on. Something that is really exciting is that Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game that it kind of disappeared off of digital platforms, shout out to that all digital future, is returning. It's going to be released this holiday season with all the DLC, and you can play it again. It's a pretty fun little brawler. We talked about this like a week or so ago with Brian Lee O'Malley, the graphic novel creator, actually tweeting about this, and ta-da, we're getting it. And another news, all of this will of course be linked in the description below. We got another long look at Watch Dogs Legion, and I hate to say it, no, I don't hate to say it. The more we see of this game, I was really skeptical at first. I'm looking forward to playing it. We know this is releasing at the end of October, but they also teased a big announcement. Oh my god, can you believe what they did here? Guess who's returning? Aiden Pierce, to which the entire internet had a big, massive collective groan, except me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty excited. While I think Marcus from 2 is a way more interesting character, I still thought Aiden Pierce was kind of cool. He looks cool, he's a man with a cell phone and a trench coat. You know what, he's a really generic, boring video game character, but honestly, I am a generic, boring video game looking character. Aiden Pierce is going to be added into the game later on as like a post-launch update. He's gonna have his own story section and stuff. He's like older now, he's got a cool beard. I don't think anyone cares but me, so I'm just gonna move it on from that. Do you like Aiden Pierce? In fact, do you remember Aiden Pierce? Be sure to let me know in the comments. One other thing, we got a really long look with not a lot of information for a game called Riders Republic. This is releasing February 25th, and essentially this is a massively multiplayer of extreme sports game type of thing. It is all extreme sports based in terms of like wingsuiting, jetpacking, skiing, snowboarding, mountain biking, dirt biking. It seems insane, and I really think if it's just like a battle royale, 100 players go down a mountain with whatever they want with a bunch of ragdoll physics and crashing into each other, I actually think that sounds like a really good idea. I am still just waiting to see real, true, straight-up gameplay from that, but one other thing to note that wasn't really in the event, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla launch date has been moved. It has been moved to coincide with the next Xbox is releasing. AC Valhalla is now releasing November 10th, which we finally have. Why did I do that? Breaking news. I'm actually kind of dizzy from one spin. What's wrong with me? I didn't have lunch. Who am I talking to? Am I talking to you? We got the prices, baby. We got the prices and the release date for the Xbox. Now, your move, PlayStation. What's the deal? Come on. Anyway, here are the details. The Xbox Series X, the lower tiered version, the all-digital version, is going to be $300. The Xbox Series X is going to cost $500. You're going to be able to pre-order both of these September 22nd, and they release November 10th. Now, what's really interesting is kind of getting a glimpse of the whole picture now with Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X. We did a video comparing the specs and stuff, and honestly, I think the Series S, since it's all digital, should have a bigger hard drive. It's only 512 compared to the Series X's 1 terabyte. But interestingly enough, they both have the same CPUs, so similar brains, different GPUs, and essentially what they are saying in the marketing itself, this is going to be pushed more as a 1080p 1440 type machine, whereas the Series X is going to be for people who want that 4K 60 FPS goodness. I think it's a smart move because there's still a lot of consumers out there, there's a lot of players out there that don't care about 4K screens, they care more about high frame rate, and maybe they're just using Game Pass, which is also undergoing some changes, most notably price changes, but also it's getting all of the EA Access games, which is like a bevy of a bunch of games. Despite EA's problems, you're going to have access to stuff like Skate, so that's cool. So anyway, what I was saying was that essentially they have two different versions for two different types of consumers, but whoever they are, it's again what I've been saying here is Xbox just really wants you on their ecosystem, whether it's PC or a lower priced Xbox or the big badass Series X, whatever it is, that's how they're trying this, and I am curious to see it considering they don't have a lot of like exclusive types of games on the slate. I just find this approach interesting, and that is not me shilling for one company or the other. I always have to disclaim this because just because I'm talking and expressing interest about one thing, I play on PC, so I'm just looking at all this stuff as fun. Like I said though, balls in your court, PlayStation. I suspect we're going to hear something next week, so we'll keep you guys peeled. Next up, since we are talking about 4K and resolution and next generation consoles and stuff like that, it seems like once again we're getting a hot rumor. Take this, of course, with a grain of salt, that the next Switch is coming and it's gonna be 4K. This is a report of a potential hardware refresh thanks to Bloomberg, which states that Nintendo has been telling their developers to make sure that their games are 4K ready. This is expected to possibly hit store shelves early next year, and we don't really know much, but the report does say that possibly it's a higher resolution screen and support for 4K output when it's going to be docked. This is of course going to call for a substantial change from the current chipset in the Nintendo Switch with the Tegra chip. So that's big. I'm curious to see if this is happening and what the price is going to be. But for like hardcore power Switch users like myself, a lot of the crew here, the whole crew here, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there, this could be pretty interesting and pretty exciting. I just hope it's true though, because we've heard all types of rumors about a Nintendo Switch refresh. Some have been debunked, some have carried on, so yeah, let's see. Next up, this episode is brought to you by Postmates. Now, if you're not aware, straight up, it's a food delivery app, and we got some coming right now, so excuse me for a second. Postmates is extremely easy to use through its convenient app where you can track it coming to you in real time, and they offer no contact delivery if you prefer it. And Postmates basically delivers everything, including local restaurants, which in certain shutdown areas still really need some support right now. I strongly believe in that, but I'm not gonna lie, today we just used it to get fast food, and I'm not feeling very good. So with that, you can see here on the screen our promo code gameranx. You can use this code to get $110 in delivery fee credit for the first 7 days of redemption for new users only. And so with that, now is a really good time to hop on the app, which you can download because it's linked in the description down below. Here on screen, I'm showing right now how easy it is. You can just enter in gameranx and boom, apply it. There you go. Get that deal and eat up. Also, a big shout out to Postmates for sponsoring this video and for feeding us. Next up, of course, I want to talk about a couple of things you may have missed during the week. Let's get you guys caught up. All these things are going to be linked in the description below, all these trailers. The first is an update for Left 4 Dead 2. We didn't have a chance to talk about this at the end of last week, but yeah, that's a thing that Valve put out. Also, I just wanted to share this because I thought it was cool. Fellow YouTuber Arrekzz, he put out a video detailing the Witcher workout. Essentially, it's like what Geralt would do, how he would work out to do what he does in The Witcher 3. I just like stuff like this. It's creative. We also got a trailer for the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War multiplayer. Boy, that's a mouthful. It looks crazy, it looks ridiculous, it looks colorful, it looks fun. We're working on videos breaking that down. If you're a Call of Duty fan, me personally, I'm just gonna play the campaign. Sounds awesome. Also, linked in the description, Highlight Reel is back. For those of you that don't know, it was a video series on Kotaku. It's now no longer on Kotaku, and it's completely Patreon supported, and you can watch the videos on YouTube. It's essentially every week just a great compilation of awesome things in video games, like just slick moves and glitches and stuff like that. They're always just fun, solid, reliable, straightforward videos, no bullshit, anything like that. So if you want to check out the newest video that they put since their triumphant return, that's going to be linked down there in the description. And like I always say too, if you're going someplace and sharing the love, tell them I sent you. And next up in the news, last week, of course, we talked about the announcement of the RTX 3080. It looks like now we may have possibly gotten some leaked benchmarks. This is from a Chinese social media channel who may have just been like a tech person who got access to it under NDA or something and totally leaked it. Of course, take this with a grain of salt because we don't know if it's totally true or not, but from what we're seeing, it is pretty cool if it is. Just 4K gaming benchmarks on a 3080 versus a 2080 Super. We have a 62% increase in Far Cry 5, Borderlands 3 has a 56% increase, and AC Odyssey a 48% increase. I hope these are true because that is badass, and that kind of backs up what they've been saying with the announcement. Also, in other news, a surprise Nintendo game announcement. November 20th, we're getting another Hyrule Warriors game. We're getting Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This is essentially a game connected to the Breath of the Wild story, and it's going to provide a bunch more lore. I'm not like super into these games, but I think the prospect of a bit more Breath of the Wild lore is really interesting. Also, I want to point out this is very weird for Nintendo to do, but Nintendo is weird like that, especially lately, especially with that Mario thing. I'm talking to you guys. So it's going to take place 100 years before Breath of the Wild, and it details all the stuff that went down. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think of this. Is this something you would want? Do you want Zelda lore to be sequestered away in other games of a completely kind of different genre from a different developer? Sometimes I'm into that, sometimes I'm not. With Zelda, I feel like I put Zelda on a pedestal, but I want to hear from you guys. Also, speaking of that, other things I want to hear from you guys, I put a video on my other YouTube channel, just called Jake Baldino. I put out a long, in-depth video about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I also included a bunch of tips for you beginners out there, how to beat your friends. So if you want to check that out, I'd love to hear what you think. That'll be linked in the description down below, as well as everything else I talk about. Of course, now we got to talk about all the stories this week. Like I said, there was a lot. Ooh boy, Prince of Persia. Are you as harsh as me? Are you harsher than me? A lot of the gaming community is. What do you think? What do you think about a 4K Nintendo Switch? Also, are you sad to hear that GameStop stores are closing? And of course, oh man, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, What are you interested in? Either? None? Let's talk in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. But, you know, things get a little crazy down there. We're going to be commenting. But if you want to yell at me directly, of course, Twitter and Instagram at Jake Baldino. Seriously, though, thank you guys for coming around every Friday and watching this. Hopefully we get you guys caught up. This is going to sound corny, but it does really make my day when some of you reach out about the show or send me links to articles or some story, a lead on a story. Thanks for that, for real. And of course, I always say, the YouTube spiel, clicking the like button does help us out. I really appreciate it. And if you're new, maybe consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Pizza's on me.